Okay, I want to speak about Muammar Gaddafi as a supreme economist. He was ahead of his time. Before Gaddafi, we speak about Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein was used by the West to suppress the Shia population in Iraq. And there was a fallout between America and Saddam Hussein. Saddam was used by the Americans to wage war against Iran, okay, and it killed about 1 million people, right? So then, at one point, Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait, right? And Saddam Hussein said he had the fallout with the Americans, and he said, pay us in euro currency instead of dollars. And that was one of the reasons why he was killed, Saddam Hussein. Now, if you take Muammar Gaddafi, he was a supreme economist, right? He had a no loan policy. Of course, he had a lot of oil, so he didn't need to take oil. But if you take Norway has a super wealth fund, more than $2 trillion after they sold oil. So they have saved for the future with their oil income. Of course, if you take the politicians in Norway, they were involved in destruction of the Palestinians, and also they were part of the team to destroy the Sinhalese in Sri Lanka. And if you take the politicians in Norway, not the people are different, okay? Even if you take Turkey, people in Turkey is sympathetic towards the Palestinians, not necessarily Erdogan. So there are difference. So if you take Norway goes kade for America, right? He goes kade. If the Americans ask Norway to do something, they do it. So if you are Sinhalese in this country, you have to take certain. You have to guard yourself, because Norway politicians goes kade for America. Okay, whatever the Americans tell them to do, they do it. I am talking about the politicians. Now, if you take Muammar Gaddafi, he wants to get rid of the dollar, and he wants to have gold as a backup for currency, right? And he was a threat to America. So one of the main reasons they killed Muammar Gaddafi is because he wanted to bring a gold-based currency, and it is alleged that one of the African leaders betrayed him. One of the African leaders whom Gaddafi helped, they betrayed him. And if you take Ibrahim Traoré, he is following footsteps of Thomas Sankara and Gaddafi. So if you take economics in our country, and I would label Gaddafi as also economics, a supreme economist, then he was really head of the economics in our country. Okay? So if Gaddafi wanted to build a African dinar based on gold, then he was threat to America. Just as Americans cannot leave West Asia, because the Americans leave the West Asia, there won't be any dollar, any petrodollar. So I think in Sri Lanka, I mentioned earlier, if you want to challenge the West, you have to have a theoretical institution physics. And now I came today or yesterday to come to the conclusion we should also have an institution to study steady state economics. And we have to have certain Islamic and Buddhist aspects of economics, right, which can be incorporated into our economic theories. So we have to have two institutions. One institution study theoretical physics, because if you want to challenge the West, you have to study theoretical physics. There is no other. That means you have to know a lot of mathematics also. And if you want to have steady state economics, then you have to have an institution dedicated to steady state economics, and we have to study on Buddhist and Islamic teachings. Especially we have to study what Muammar Gaddafi tried to do for Africa and his country, and to fight towards independence in Africa, and how some of the African leaders betrayed him. Okay? So this, we have to have two institutions, one on steady state economics and other on theoretical physics. If you want to challenge, you have to come to the top to challenge the West and be when it comes to theoretical work, because physics is the foundation of the Western domination. And also you have to understand the weak points in the economic system. We are having these fiat currencies. What is the weak point in fiat currency? So that means we have to study the Muslim system, Islamic system as far as economics, and we can borrow certain things from them, certain positive things. So we have to go on to and I personally assume that Muammar Gaddafi, as far as economics, with all his negative aspects, he was far ahead than economics in our country. Economists in our country.